historical evolution of the European Union. This is a good point to step back and look at the historical evolution of the European Union. The United Kingdom came out of World War II a much chastened victor. Under the US's Lend-Lease, the United Kingdom received assistance of $31.4 billion. Correspondingly, the United Kingdom received $6.8 billion from the USA for reverse Lend-Lease. After the war, the international order was recrafted with the newly emergent United States as a superpower, which displaced British economic and political primacy. The United Nations was established. International law came into its own with the establishment of the International Court of Justice of Nations, ICJ for short, and the International Criminal Court, ICCC. The European Council was convened under American auspices to discuss post-war reconstruction. A more stable global international financial was set up with the IMF and the World Bank. The United States dollar was anchored to the price of gold, replaced sterling as the reserve currency of choice in the fixed currency system. The United Kingdom was one of the victors of World War II. Why did it not use its position of advantage in the British Empire to create a trade bloc of its own? The UK's prosperity was founded on its free trade policy. The matter came to a head when the Conservative Party proposed imperial preference. This was with the twin objectives of protecting British industry from competition and to promote and protect the British Empire. The increase in global trade was advantageous, and the government coalition collapsed on the issue in 1906. So the matter rested until the 1920s and 30s depression, when the empire pursued protectionist policies. Under it, the Dominions decided to make preferential concessions to British imports in exchange for similar concessions for them in British markets. World War II disrupted UK's exports. An impoverished UK was less able to buy from the Dominions. The Dominions, unable to export to the United Kingdom, established other markets. India, one of the UK's key markets, became independent. Slowly, the cohesion of the British Empire unravelled. The 1950s period in the UK was one of austerity. The UK's plight was accentuated by poor economic management and political leadership. Aid provided by the US under the Marshall Plan was not used to modernise industries as Europe and Japan had done. It went to defending the sterling area and to maintain the trappings of British Empire in the world when it could least afford it. While the UK could not hope to repay the US for Lend-Lease after the war, the assistance also came with strings attached, which is of relevance in the decline of the British Empire and the evolution of the European Union. The agreement provided instead that payment would primarily take the form of a consideration granted by Britain to the United States. After many months of negotiations, the United States and Britain agreed. In Article 7 of the Lend-Lease agreement, they signed that this consideration would primarily consist of joint action directed towards the creation of a liberalised international economic order in the post-war world. The Americans, in support of free trade, were opposed to the continuance of imperial preference. The post-war trade architecture promoted by the General Agreements on Tariffs and Trade, GATT for short, 1947, now the World Trade Organization, made discriminatory tariff preference under Chapter 10. If imperial preference was illegal under GATT, how was the European coal and steel community given a free pass? There is no doubt that the European coal and steel community contravened GATT. Germany would not have been a signatory to the considerations referred to above. The USA also became otherwise preoccupied with the Cold War. It saw that unless Europe was given assistance to recover, parts of it would fall to the communist sphere. It would have been frightened by the attempted communist takeover of Greece, which the British Army helped defeat. Marshall Aid, which was instituted in 1948, was instrumental in helping Europe and Japan recover. In due course, their economies recovered. Global trade expanded, and the world entered a new era of prosperity. It was by default that the European protectionist trade bloc was legitimized.